So for this one, we need to complete the recursive formula of the arithmetic sequence 4, 22, 40, 58, and so on. And so the key parts of rewriting this formula, remember we need to find that first term, and in this case, it's 4. And the next step, probably the most difficult step here, is to figure out what our common difference is. So we need to look at our sequence and see what we're adding or subtracting from one term to the next. And what you can notice is that to go from 4 to 22, looks like we are adding 18. And that's going to be the same for all these. From 22 to 40, that's another 18. And from 40 to 58, it's another 18. So our common difference here is 18. Now let's check our work, since this is something you want to get in the habit of doing until you feel you have mastery of these. So to check this, we're going to look at regenerating the sequence from what we think is the formula. So we know the first term, we're given that as 4, that's our b of 1, but let's find b of 2. So we plug in 2 here, we get b of 2 minus 1, which is b of 1. So we want to take the first term, and then we're going to add 18 to that. And our first term is 4, and 4 plus 18 is 22. So the second term made sense. Let's just do one more. So to find the third term, remember this pattern always takes the term before it and then just adds the common difference. Since if we put 3 in here, 3 minus 1 is 2. We'll take the term before 3, we'll add that common difference, and the term before 3, b of 2, was 22. We add 18 to 22 to get 40. And you can see 40 is the third term. So our check made sense, which lets us know we can feel confident that our formula, this recursive formula, is correct for this problem. And you could keep going if you want, but you will see that it still makes sense. So let's keep going. We'll do a couple more of these. So this arithmetic sequence we call D. So it starts at 9. That's our first term here, which we can put in this box. And this pattern here, to find the nth term, it's always the one before it plus what we know is the common difference. So we need to figure that out. We need to figure out what we are adding or subtracting. And this one's going down. So it looks like we're going from 9 to negative 1, and we're subtracting 10 to do that. And just double check that that is indeed the common difference, that we're applying subtract by 10 to go from one term to the next. Since minus 1 minus 10 is minus 11. And if we subtract 10 again, we do get to minus 21. So we can put our minus 10 into the box here. And let's just do a quick check. So we're going to look at the second and third terms. So in this case, we're talking about D. So we have D of 2, the second term. It's always going to be the term before that, since 2 minus 1 is 1. And the term before that was 9, and then we add negative 10 to that. 9 minus 10 is negative 1. So that one made sense. And if we find D of 3, so it's the second term, since 3 minus 1 is 2, and we'll subtract 10 or add negative 10. Well, the second term was minus 1. We subtract 10 from that, and we do get minus 11. So our checks make sense. The second term is negative 1, and the third term is negative 11, which helps us feel confident that this is the correct answer. So let's do one final problem here. And once you get the hang of these are fairly quick. Since all you really need to do is figure out the first term, which in our case is negative 16. Let me use a darker color here. And what we're adding here is just our common difference. So most of the work in this problem is just figuring out the common difference and then checking. So our common difference, to go from minus 16 to minus 33, it looks like we subtract 17. But let's make sure that that actually makes sense. Since to go from minus 33 to minus 50, it looks like we do subtract 17 again. And minus 50 minus 17 does bring us to minus 67. So our pattern says that we're going to find the nth term, we're going to take the term before that and then add negative 17. So let's just check this last one just to make sure. So we'll try to find that second term with our formula now. And it's going to be our first term plus negative 17. So minus 16 minus 17, which is negative 33. So that made sense. And if we try and find our third term, it's going to be our second term, which is minus 33. We subtract 17 from that, and we do get minus 50. So we checked our work, and we can feel confident that our answers are correct.